Just when everyone thought the royal drama had cooled off, a jaw-dropping report allegedly landed on Princess Anne's desk connected to Meghan Markle's London trip. The mood inside palace circles reportedly shifted from nervous concern to full-blown alarm. What started as a perfectly polished anniversary post suddenly erupted into a controversy packed with mysterious photographs, hushed accusations, unexpected twists, and a trail of questions that simply would not go away. But this is where things allegedly became even more explosive. It was not merely the rumors rattling royal watchers. It was the possibility that information hidden beneath smiles and carefully managed public appearances might finally be coming to light. And according to whispers echoing through palace circles, Princess Anne had no intention of remaining quiet. What should have been an innocent social media moment quickly evolved into one of the most heavily discussed royal controversies imaginable. Meghan Markle had reportedly returned from London following a high-profile appearance and seemed eager to share a warm anniversary gesture she received during her travels. To the public, everything appeared elegant, thoughtful, and perfectly timed. Another carefully crafted chapter in a public image built on admiration and poise. Yet behind that polished display, a different narrative was allegedly beginning to take shape. The whispers began softly, almost unnoticed. Then suddenly they seemed to be everywhere. According to claims spreading rapidly online, an incident aboard a transatlantic flight became the focus of intense attention. What was first described as a minor accident allegedly involved a confidential file being dropped, exposing documents and photographs to public view. Instantly, social media exploded with speculation. Who was the unidentified man reportedly seen in those photographs? Why were the images attracting so much attention? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why did the timing feel so incredibly suspicious? Public reaction was swift and ruthless. Online commentators began connecting dots, crafting theories, and transforming rumors into full-scale narrative. Every photograph became a clue. Every silence became proof. Every unanswered question became fuel for an increasingly intense fire. Within hours, what began as a private rumor had transformed into an international controversy. Then came Princess Anne. According to the narrative circulating among royal observers, and was furious, not simply because of the allegations, but because the royal family was suddenly being pulled into a controversy they allegedly had nothing to do with. For Anne, reputation has always mattered above everything else. Discipline, duty, and order have long defined her public image. So when suggestions surfaced that palace figures could somehow be involved in concealing private behavior, the situation reportedly crossed a serious line. Observers claimed and acted quickly to separate the monarchy from the escalating scandal. Statements allegedly stressed that any personal matters involving Meghan Markle were entirely independent from royal operations. Yet behind closed doors, the tension was reportedly becoming impossible to overlook. Questions multiplied rapidly. Why were these rumors surfacing now? Who stood to benefit from their release? Was someone deliberately targeting Meghan Markle? Or was there truly more to the story than anyone understood? As speculation intensified, another dramatic chapter allegedly emerged. Reports suggested that Prince Harry found himself trapped between two conflicting worlds. On one side stood his wife, firmly rejecting every accusation and insisting she was the target of a coordinated attack. On the other side stood growing pressure from royal circles demanding answers. The alleged confrontation that followed became endless gossip material. According to the story, emotions boiled over behind closed doors. Trust came under scrutiny. Voices were reportedly raised. Long-standing frustrations resurfaced once again. The pressure surrounding the couple allegedly reached levels neither had faced before. For Harry, each new headline appeared to create another fracture in an already delicate situation. Yet the mystery refused to fade away. Instead, it only grew bigger. The unidentified man remained at the center of relentless speculation. His identity fueled countless theories. Some insisted he was merely an old acquaintance. Others hinted at something far more significant. Online sleuths picked apart timelines, photographs, travel schedules, and public appearances with almost unbelievable obsession. The deeper they dug, the more questions surfaced. Nothing looked simple. Nothing appeared accidental. Even the smallest details suddenly attracted massive attention. Why had certain photographs allegedly been preserved? Why were particular meetings becoming such a major topic of discussion? Why did every explanation seem to generate even more contradictions? For Princess Anne, at least according to the rumor-packed storyline, these questions were becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss. And as pressure continued mounting, so did the determination to uncover whatever truth might be lurking beneath the surface. What allegedly happened next pushed the controversy into even murkier territory. The speculation was no longer centered solely on photographs or private meetings. Suddenly, people began wondering whether something much bigger was concealed behind the scandal. Every new allegation seemed to hint at a larger mystery. Every denial appeared to spark fresh suspicion. And according to gossip swirling through royal circles, Princess Anne was no longer viewing this as merely a public relations nightmare. She was allegedly treating it as a potential threat to the institution itself. The pressure surrounding Prince Harry reportedly reached a critical point. Day after day, he found himself trapped between competing narratives, conflicting explanations, and relentless media scrutiny. The harder he tried to understand the situation, the more confusing it allegedly became. Friends, commentators, and online communities all seemed certain they already knew the truth. Yet somehow, nobody could agree on what that truth actually was. That contradiction only fueled the drama further. According to the explosive narrative, Harry eventually became determined to uncover answers himself. No more public statements. No more media battles. No more carefully crafted explanations. If the rumors were false, he wanted proof. If they were true, he wanted proof of that as well. The uncertainty had reportedly become impossible to tolerate. As whispers continued spreading, attention allegedly shifted toward a wealthy and influential figure connected to the mysterious photograph. His name became the center of non-stop speculation. People claimed he possessed significant influence across business, media, and elite political circles. Suddenly, what began as relationship gossip evolved into theories involving power, influence, and hidden agendas operating behind closed doors. This is where the story allegedly became truly explosive. According to the version of events discussed by royal watchers, investigators reportedly began uncovering connections that raised serious questions. The claims suggested private relationships may have intersected with ambitions extending far beyond personal matters. Some theorized that access, influence, and information were the real prizes being pursued. Others argued the entire story had been exaggerated beyond recognition. Yet regardless of which side people believed, one reality became impossible to ignore. The controversy was growing faster than anyone could contain it. Princess Anne reportedly responded with the same icy determination that has defined her reputation for decades. While others argued, speculated, and panicked, and allegedly focused on collecting facts. In gossip circles, she was portrayed as someone unwilling to tolerate uncertainty when the monarchy's reputation was on the line. Every new revelation reportedly strengthened her belief that decisive action could eventually become unavoidable. Inside royal circles, according to persistent rumors, conversations became increasingly tense. Senior figures allegedly worried not only about headlines but also about public confidence. The monarchy survives on perception, trust, and stability. Once those foundations begin showing cracks, even relatively small scandals can become dangerous. And by this stage, the scandal was anything but small. Then came the moment that supposedly changed everything. The alleged investigation reportedly uncovered information that transformed the narrative from a personal controversy into something viewed as a direct challenge to royal interests. Whether those claims were true or not almost became irrelevant. The perception alone was reportedly enough to trigger alarm. The palace debrief, according to speculation, feared that every passing day allowed the controversy to become stronger and even more damaging. As tensions intensified, discussions reportedly shifted toward consequences. Serious consequences. The kind capable of permanently altering relationships already strained for years. The kind destined to dominate headlines across the globe. And standing at the center of it all was Princess Anne. In the gossip-driven version of events, and allegedly became the driving force behind demands for accountability. To supporters, she was safeguarding the institution. To critics, she was turning a family conflict into an all-out royal war. Either way, her role dominated nearly every conversation. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle reportedly continued pushing back, rejecting accusations and insisting she was being unfairly targeted. But by that point, the public battlefield had already developed a life of its own. Every statement was scrutinized, dissected, and endlessly debated. Every appearance was scrutinized. Every silence was treated like a clue waiting to be decoded. By the end of it all, the anniversary post that once appeared completely harmless had allegedly become the spark that ignited a firestorm consuming everything in its path. Trust was questioned. Loyalties were challenged. Relationships were pushed dangerously close to their breaking point. And despite countless people insisting they know exactly what happened, the truth remained buried beneath layers of accusations, speculation, and competing narratives. Which may be exactly why this story refuses to fade away. Because long after the headlines disappear and the news cycle moves on, one question continues haunting every version of the saga. Was this simply a controversy fueled by rumors, assumptions, and misunderstandings? Or was it the moment-long hidden tensions inside one of the world's most famous families finally burst into public view? The whispers have not stopped. The questions still linger. And for many royal watchers, the mystery appears nowhere near finished, with fresh debates and new theories continuing to surface.